Wendy, good morning. Glad you're here. Okay, and let's turn on Facebook. Facebook Live. Charles, did you ever think you were going to go live on Facebook?
No, I don't think so. I'll try not to think about it too much.
All right, good stuff. All right, let me just get that warmed up. All right, good job. Excellent. Mastermind with Neil Schwartz, our special guest today, Charles Sparks from Fort Collins, Colorado. Welcome
Thanks.
there,
Thanks.
Charles. Love to have you.
Thanks.
You hear
Yeah,
me?
thanks for having me on.
Sorry?
I said thanks for having me on.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Looking forward to it. Well, the Fed dropped the rate yesterday by a quarter of a percent. That was the good news. The bad news is that the rates in general went up, right, Miguel? Yeah. Well, there you go. Okay, so
Yes, sir.
the rates went up a little bit, but that's okay. They'll fall and then they'll go up and then they'll fall and whatever. Still, there's never been a better purchase and better opportunity than buying real estate in America. So remind everybody of that. That's the name of the game. All right, Charles. So tell me a little bit about Fort Collins. I don't think I've ever been there. What?
Either at I for since a few years ago. So
So tell me the story. How did you end
it's
up in Fort Collins?
it's a great area. We had some family that moved out here, and we came out to visit um, January of 2018, and we were like, "Hey, we kind of like this area." Went back to Florida, packed our bags, shut my business down, and by June of 2018, we were renting a house out here.
Wow. So what were you doing in Florida? Selling real estate?
Yeah, so long story short, got into the business at 18 years old in Florida and just started, doing the business. And Florida market got hit pretty hard, of course, like every other market. And so I actually jumped out of the business. I luckily, thankfully, got a pretty good job offer to be an estate manager from about 2008 until about 2011. And
Any
so
estate
I
I
was
would know?
no, it's kind of just a private family. So actually, sorry, I did that until from 2008 to 2012. I did that. And then I jumped back into the real estate market um, full bore in 2012 and rode it really hard in Florida. And then in 2018 is when we started, or 2017 we started kind of looking around, thinking about moving to a different area, just increase the I would say better quality of life, looking for better schools for the family, looking for more activities from where we were. We'd been in Florida all of our life, and so we started looking around and looked kind of all around the United States. But then one of our family members moved to Fort Collins, Colorado. We came out, we visited, and we were like, we love it, and moved 6 months later.
Good for you. Congratulations. So no problems with the kids moving from Florida. Everybody was okay with the move.
Yeah, my oldest at the time was 13, so it was the toughest for him, but
Uh-huh.
he adapted. If we would have I probably wouldn't have done it any later. Like if we went to move that year, I probably would have just held out, and we probably still would be stuck in Florida because it was it was definitely probably the hardest for him, but he came out and made some friends, and the reason why is because he's a football player, and so he had been doing a lot of football, getting kind of better known in this community, believe it or not, even at 13. And we moved out here, and it took a little bit to jump back into the new schools, but now, looking back, it was probably a good decision. He's now off. He's on his second year of college, and he's a college football player. So he's on his second
That's
year
great.
there doing that.
So he's an NCAA football player. Which school?
He's actually at Colorado Mesa in Grand Junction. So it's football is definitely not as big out here as it was in Florida in the South.
Um,
And so that would be, hindsight 2020, looking back, if I was only doing it for him and sports, I probably would have thought that through a little bit more, but you know, it is what it is.
got it. How many kids?
I got four.
Four kids. You moved them all the way from Florida. So you were making a living in Florida. Were you connected with Mike or Tom at the time?
Tom. So
Tom. Okay.
so I have always watched Mike. So like I started knowing his scripts, but I never like was a whatever paid coaching member or anything of his in Florida. I jumped into Tom's program um earlier on, and then I was there, like I grew up in Florida, so I knew a lot of people. I was there all my life. My dad was in the business. Um and so I, worked at his brokerage. It didn't mean I got any of his deals. I certainly did not. But um, I grew up around real estate from a young age. And so that's why I jumped in at 18.
Got it. Okay. Did you felt like it was the only direction for you, or it was a made sense for you?
That's all I
We have
know. I
a lot of the kids right now. I have a number of sons and daughters coming into the business, and they're animals. I mean, I don't
it
know if I'd want to compete with some of these people that are coming up today, but
it's it's
but
all
but
I know. It's all I know. I long to get the drive. Like when I was in Florida, I was much more of an animal than I am today. And I ask myself every day, how can I get that drive back? I don't know if it's just getting older or whatnot, but like, I mean, I would be in my office cold calling like a crazy man. I would be doing push-ups in between, on the phone, setting appointments, and so like every conversation I had, like I was in it, and I was like the addicted agent, probably like the annoying agent, because that's all I talked and dreamt about. I asked myself sometimes, like, how do I get that drive back? But it's all I knew. I mean, I got married at 16, um, and got told it was time to go get a real job and get into real estate at 17. So I took my test and basically
wait a minute, wait a minute. You didn't have a job when you got married?
just like working on a little ranch. I mean, I was a ranch boy. Like I grew up on a ranch. I, you know, took care of acreage, that type of thing. So got married at 16, got my real estate license pretty much the minute I could get it, at 18, and jumped into the business. Had my first kid that at that time too, which was in 2005. And so like my back was against the wall. It was either, it was either go produce or, you know,
I mean,
I didn't have an option.
your dad wasn't handing you money?
No, no. I mean, in all fairness, I think he gave me a 6 month per diem. I think he gave me $350 a week. And I think he gave me 350 is like 350 or less, but it was like 350 per week. But I was like his gopher. Like if he needed a sign at a property or a lockbox or me to go get the mail or whatever it was like, hey, you better go out and sell. Here's $350. That should cover your grocery bills. And I had that. So I had that every week for I think the first 6 months.
Okay, got it. So you needed to do something.
Yeah.
clearly.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
how old's your son today?
He's 19.
Awesome. Good stuff.
Yeah.
Um, so what'd you do? I mean,
Called a lot of, I mean,
expired for
yeah,
sale
call
by
it, yeah.
owners.
For sale by owners expired. I never did circle prospecting and still need to try to figure out how to get into that today. For sale by owners expired, lots of mailers, open houses, pretty much just everything like I could. It was, it was before the whole tech boom with Zillow and Realtor and all that type of stuff. So I wasn't getting many online leads back then, maybe a couple here and there. I mean, I remember that back then I didn't even have email on my phone. Like I think I remember finally getting like a BlackBerry back then and feeling pretty cool because I finally got email on my phone. So it was like a lot of hustle, that type of thing. But it you know, I don't remember like everything I did back then because of course I was like barely 18 years old and then I didn't last long. I
If
mean,
you don't mind, Charles, how old are you now?
I turned 38 next week.
You look great, but you've been through a lot.
I mean, I feel like I've been through, I feel like I've lived like a full life cycle already because, starting at, the age I did and still doing it today. And, you know, but I'll be a young empty nester and I'll have a whole nother life ahead of me to go, keep working.
I love that. Awesome. Good stuff.
But
So,
when I got back into it, so I told you I got out like during the crash, like
uh,
and
we're
it just
talking
so
about
had
2007, 8, and 9, right?
2008, yeah, in 2008, um, I got an offer to go basically manage an estate, this older couple in town, which was family to me. They had a whole bunch of property, estate, that type of thing, and they basically said, "Hey, come handle all this. We can't handle it anymore ourselves." So I took that over and did that like through 2012. They passed away, the estate got sold off, that type of thing, and so in 2012, I jumped back in with, and that was actually more scary for me jumping back in 2012 because I had four kids. By then, I had four kids. My house, all my bills were increased. I was in more debt, and I jumped back in 2012. And my back was more, and I didn't have, pops giving me $350 a week or nothing like that. I was dead broke, and just jumped back in and started. And that's when I probably started grinding the hardest, and probably intensified the calling, the prospecting, and that type of thing. And I did really well. I did really well. I mean, I think the first year, which keep in mind, I was selling in Florida $150,000 homes or something. So the first year, I think I broke 100, and then it was like 100, 150, 170, all the way up until the year I left. I was over 300,000, and it was just all hustling.
Good for you. Congratulations.
The
So,
the year I left Florida, just put it, in 2000, I'd have to go back, but I did around 70 properties.
uh-huh. So do you recommend all of us have four children and be broke? That's how we're going to get motivated?
I wouldn't trade them for the world, and I'm glad I'm doing it. I'm glad I went through it. I would probably be a better dad if I was having kids now. Like I feel like I grew up with my kids basically. I mean, I'll be 38 next week, and my youngest is already, you know, 13 and a half. So I mean, I've basically grown up with my kids essentially.
Good for you.
But it definitely puts a lot of, if you want pressure, yeah, I would say, do what I did.
Oh, wow. And then to add insult to injury, instead of staying where your database was and the people you know and who you grew up with, you moved markets.
I was, I, yeah, it was, I think it's probably a disease. I don't know if realtors like I don't know if us realtors are ever satisfied or happy. You know, I really enjoy the move. I like being out here. The sales prices are higher, but I mean I did walk away. It was probably not that smart of a thing. Um, because like I told you, I was, the year I left, I was at 70 some transactions. And keep in mind that was single agent, no assistant, no transaction coordinator, nothing. It was me, myself, and I. And which I'll talk about. I do like I call myself a team. I'll talk about that later. But um, you know, if I would have taken the systems now that I know and kept doing that, building the database, I probably would have been, you know, 700-800 million. Who knows? Like it would have been probably pretty good, but quality of life out here is great too, and I can't complain. We're right by the Rocky Mountains.
Well, that's great. Good for you.
Yeah.
Excellent. Um, so when you made the move, you didn't have a database. You have skills, but I mean, you were starting really as a brand new agent, slight different. You knew what to say and how to say it most of the time, right?
Yeah, it kicked my teeth in. It was the hardest thing I've probably ever had to do because um, I came out here with the mindset of like, whatever, I'm hot shit, or sorry, I'm hot stuff. I sold 70 properties, whatever. Like, take my time, I'll get back to it. The realtor ego. Reality is, I came out here, and the people who we kind of followed out here, it was my wife's brother and his wife. So like, we didn't know anyone. We came to a new place. I didn't know the market. We didn't know anyone. And I was like, I'm going to enjoy Colorado for a little while and I can jump back in anytime. And worst thing I did, I came out here and it took me 6 months to close my first deal. I went through probably $80,000 worth of savings. Mentally, I was drained. Like I had called my lender back in Florida. I had picked a house out. I was like, I was ready to give it up. I was ready to go back. I told my wife, I was like, hey, we got to go back. This is not working for me. And she was like, well, you can go back, but I'm going to stay here with the kids. Like I called my attorney. I was like, is there anything I can do to like get them to move back with me? And he was like, yeah, no, you're screwed. So I'm like, whatever. So that was at the end of 2018. I'm glad I did but because that same year in 2019, I I beat by like $1,000 my best year in Florida. I made like over 315. And
And
so
a big part of that was the pricing.
yeah,
You
yeah,
didn't sell that many houses.
no, I probably saw, I don't know, maybe 30 or something. I don't
Yeah.
know. But all I know is that, you know, so that was 2019, did a little over 300 again. And so I was like, okay, I'm back. And then of course 2020 COVID after that. So the rest is history.
Good for you. Good. So when you came back, you finally sold your first house 6 months later. I mean, open houses, door knocking, phone canvassing. What books were you reading? I mean, you had to be beat up.
Yeah, so I was doing open houses. Luckily I worked for a brokerage that I took advantage of open houses. And to be true, like to be completely direct and upfront, on my list of things that I need to get consistent on is like I'm no example for prospecting or daily schedule or that type of thing right now. That's the things that I need to get consistent on is a lot of outbound. I was very good like when I first got in, back in Florida, but I have not done as well as I should with that out here. So when I moved out here, I got connected with a good brokerage, which I think is important in a new town. Getting around a good group and a company that has producing agents that you can, you know, rely like use their inventory a little bit. So that's what I did. I mean, I got involved with a um, good brokerage. And when I talk about team, I don't have buyer agents. I don't have assistants, that type of thing. But before I ever came out here, I connected with a couple lenders, I connected with a couple title people, and I connected with home inspectors because my team is the person, like I can call up my title rep anytime, get any type of list I need. When I call them, they answer. When I call my lender, they answer. When I call my home inspector, I get, you know, priority service. And so I built those people and I've stuck with them. Like I don't, you can be a lender and call me 50 times in a week and I'm not switching probably unless if like I'm very loyal to the connections and my team. They're not on payroll, but they're my team, I refer to them as my team. So I connected with those people. They put me in the right contact with people in the community. And I just started, doing open houses, trickling in on I did do like open houses. I did do expireds, not as good as I should. Like, you know, I door knocked some expireds. I got those. And then it just like and once I started building the client database, I work really hard on getting referred. And so I do have a lot of, clients that past client business now. And then let's see, there's something else. I did like realtor.com leads. I somehow scored a really good position on realtor.com out here. And, that boosted my business like crazy for like 2 or 3 years where I got a ton of buyer activity.
Got it. Got it. Got it. Got it. So that kind of brings us to some work that you're doing on Google My Business.
Yeah,
We talked a little bit about that. And, in this world, you've got to do a little bit of everything. I mean, clearly you would have crashed and burned had you not done a little bit of everything, correct?
100%. Yeah,
In fact, maybe
100%.
you did crash and burn a couple times along the way, right?
I've I've crashed and burned several times and that's even that's how we got connected. I reached out to you a year ago. I was like done. I was literally like, what other career can I do? Like I had zero, but like I felt like I was done, like very little business. And you gave me one tip, which that one tip I went back and looked. I think I called you in October of last year. You gave me one tip, and from that one deal, I've from what you told me to do, I've closed 6 deals off of what you said, plus I have one listing off of it currently.
And
What'd he
it was
say?
from that one. What'd she say?
What he say?
Tell us what he said. Come
He
Forget
on.
it. Forget it. We're
he
not talking about that. We're talking about Amway right now.
yeah. No, I mean you told me the obvious. You told me, which I'm sure you tell every one of your agents every day. You said get on the phone and call your past clients today and tell me how it goes. And I think you reached out to me like several days after and like, how many did you talk to? What was the whatever? But like that's what I did. I just picked up the phone. I'm not that great at calling my past clients like I should. Um, but I did. It was uncomfortable. It wasn't fun. And I had but I picked up the phone and that's been, like I said, six deals closed so far from your one piece of advice and one current listing.
Wow. Good for you. Well,
And it was like I did not go into, who can you refer me to? I could have done a better job probably even getting more business from my past clients. I kind of half-assed it a little bit, but so next time I call them, I'm gonna have to be a little bit more direct and do it
are you,
exactly how you
you
tell me.
open for a little bit of coaching right now?
Yeah, sure. I
Um,
already wrote one thing down you told me.
yeah, that was pretty good, huh?
Yeah.
Good job. Keep working on it. So this is for everyone right now, okay? Past client and sphere is an amazing thing that we don't focus on enough, okay? It really is. And you know, Charles calls me out of the blue. I don't know him. He knows me because he's watched some videos and things, and he trusts me enough to ask me a few questions, and I gave him some information. I'm giving all of you the same information at some point or another. Okay, but this is the additional piece I want you to get. We say if you work on your past client sphere base, and you make phone calls to them on a regular basis, you email weekly, snail mail monthly, phone call them every other month, and text them, that list, that group should give you 10% of your database in a 12-month period. I got to ask you, Charles, at that time, your database wasn't that big, was it?
No, it's still not that big. I have maybe like I'm still one of the things that I still have not done well out here. Like I just started making friends at the end of 2023 when I started going to the gym. I like just started making friends. Like other than that, I don't have a big sphere at all. So my database is like literally my past clients. And
How about the kids' school?
I'm horrible at that. I'm it's a hor-
Anybody else relate to this?
it's an opportunity that's a gold mine, and I absolutely suck at it. My wife knows everyone there. Um, but I'm not. I just I don't know. I feel like I like I'm always looking for like I'm just always hunting for the hard lead when the good ones are probably right in front of me. You know,
Well,
I would probably rather call 10 expireds than go talk to 10 people at my kid's school. And I know it's incredibly stupid. It's probably just a mindset thing, but I've never been that good at um those type of circles.
okay.
And so
And yet you're still making $350,000,
yeah.
which
So
is the most you've ever made, even from a 77 deals. So clearly this is a good idea for you, right?
yeah. Yeah, I mean, during COVID years, it was better. It was like over like, well, it was over fives, probably in the 530 range, for 2 or 3 years in a row, which was amazing. Built a lot of big past clients from that. But lately, it's been, between three and 350.
So by American standards, that's good money. By Colorado standards, it's really good money because in Los Angeles, it would be worth less. That makes sense?
Yeah, and in my mind, it's not good money because I've had more, and so now I like for me, I'm like always like, how can I get back to that point? And so that's what I'm chasing now. So the things I wrote down, that I know we've been talking about over the past, 6 months plus now is the things that I'm still trying to get, the consistent on the prospecting because that's where I need to be.
Okay, well, what I'm going to ask you to do, and if anybody else wants to do this too, I want you to continue calling your past client and sphere, put a particular number on it, and don't ever fail on getting that number done. 5 people a day, 10 people a day, whatever the number is, Charles, just put that number on it and do it. And you've got to get it done before you go home at night.
Yeah.
Okay. But in there, what I want you to do, because this is what's going to increase it, we say agents will get 10% out of the database. So if there's 200 people in your database and you do this thing that we recommend, you'll get 20 transactions out of it. Okay. So how many people you think are in your database now ish?
I would say, um, 200 past clients or
Okay.
more, around 200 past clients. Not all of them I talked to. Some of them have moved away and
Yeah.
we
Okay.
never talk
But
anymore.
those 200 people, if you touch them the way I'm suggesting, okay, you could probably talk to 5 of them every other month, et cetera, and get connected. But those people, that 200 should give you 20 transactions. Here's where what we normally get is somewhere between 8 and 10, which is probably the 5 or 6 you've already gotten. Here's where
Hmm.
the difference is. There's 2 types of clients we're getting out of there. There's what we call direct and indirect. What I mean by direct is people who, when you call them and say, hey, you want to buy or sell a house, or they call you and say, I want to buy or sell a house, you're working with them directly. Everybody with me?
Yeah.
Okay. Indirect are the people they refer you to. All right. I want you to meet my son. I want you to meet my daughter. I want you to meet the lady down the street. Okay, that's indirect. We do a great job with direct business. Usually, where we fall on our face is in the indirect. Who do you know that might want to buy this house? Who do you know that might want to take advantage of this low interest rate? Who do you know? Who do you know? That's the other 5%. You got 5% direct, 5% indirect. Now your 200 people will give you 20 transactions this next 12 months, Charles. And what's your average sales price now? You're grossing what, $20,000 commission each deal?
I wish. We're probably around five. My average price is probably around 550-ish.
So right now,
Yeah.
but there's a
But
higher
I'm
price
working.
point in Fort
There's
Collins.
higher price.
Yeah?
That's higher price. There is higher price points, and I'm trying just to work into that demographic right now.
So you know how to jump in there a little quicker than you want the information? Or
Yeah, we
should I
talked about
tell
a lot. Yeah,
somebody else on the-
we
I'll
talked
tell
about it
Nino,
last week.
okay? I'm sorry, go ahead.
Oh, I said we talked about it last week. I just got to do it.
Okay, good. All right,
Yeah.
so when,
I should probably start to like now.
what time is it in Fort Collins right now?
2 o'clock.
2 o'clock.
Yeah.
So have you eaten lunch?
At my desk.
Okay, but you ate lunch.
Yeah.
Okay, so when you're done, when we're done, pick up the phone, find 5 houses that are at least $300,000 more than your average and go preview those houses
Got it.
before you go home tonight. And do 5 more tomorrow and 5 more the next day. That'll be 15. By the time you have 15 more expensive homes under your belt, then you can go do some door knocking in the more expensive homes. Because when somebody says to you, what's going on in the marketplace? Now, they're not going to say, what do you know about the high end? Because they never met you before.
Yeah.
Sense? Okay. So go do that. And then you can send your son to even a better college. Won't that be great?
That would be.
And you have 3 more coming up. When's the next one go to college?
I have one graduating this next school year. I have one senior right now, and then I have the other ones.
Okay. Well,
Yeah.
here you go. Got to get into it. Okay,
Yeah.
before we move on, questions for Charles. Questions on anything that he's run into. Does he sound like he's running into some of the same stuff we're running into? Doesn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Questions for Charles. James, you got your hand up? No, James is talking to somebody else.
Neil, I got that. I do have that website. I'll try to drop it into the chat. So one of the things that when I moved out here that's been extremely helpful was there are a lot of great companies out there that you guys can create free profiles on. And a lot of them are referral based websites where, they send you a deal and you got to pay a 25 or 35. Some of them are more now referrals, but they're for the majority of them, they're free to set up. So put your picture, put all your info, your broker info, and that comes. You may have to get your broker to sign off on a referral agreement, but can I put something in the chat? Is that even?
Of course.
Am I able to do that?
What? Yeah. Charles and I were talking earlier today about something that this is part of it, where he's making money on his Google My Business. And what was the other thing? Google Local Service?
Yeah, so Google Local Service, which just to give a rough idea, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I don't know, maybe 10 of my deals this year have come from Google Local Service. So do you want me to?
Yeah, absolutely. In fact, if you want, you can share what you shared with me Look, everybody, you guys have seen this stuff before. There's not anything special about what he's doing. It's just he's doing something about it, and it's getting him a decent
So,
amount of business.
well, I'll share what I did with you on the review. So one of the things, even back in Florida all the way up to now, which
You
thankfully a
want to
lot of
share
my
it? You want to share it on the screen?
yeah, I will. So
Okay.
thankfully, when I moved from Florida, I was able to transfer my profiles to my new market, Google and the other. Now keep in mind that that was back in the day, and so I've been building them ever since. But one of the things that's really helped is on Zillow and Google and Rate My Agent, I always try to collect reviews. And I was talking to Neil about this. One transaction can be up to like 4 to 5 reviews for everyone. So let's say you're working you have a buyer, um, and you're working with a lender on that deal, a home inspector on that deal, a title person on that deal, and of course your buyer and whoever else. I ask for reviews for anyone involved in the transaction typically. When someone, when a different agent from, a different brokerage refers me a deal, I ask them to, hey, thanks so much for the referral. Your check is on the way. Could you take a minute and refer me? So I've gotten a ton of reviews from people in our industry. I'm not asking for fake reviews that you see some people do. They're legitimate people that we've worked with. So I've been able to build like my Google profile, which do you want me to here? I can probably share my screen.
Yeah.
So like my Google profile, I don't know if you guys can see this. Um, build
Those of
yourself
you that work on Google profiles, this looks very familiar, correct?
probably.
Yeah. It's the
So
same
just
one.
go.
Everybody, that's what we get.
Yeah, so like I just got out actually of Google jail. I tried to make a couple adjustments last week. They shut me down, so I just got my profile back this week. But the biggest thing with here, always ask for reviews, always have current photos and different things of yourself. And then Google will tell you up here, what you need to be doing. So just go through all the tabs, make sure everything is filled out. The more information you do, the better you start ranking. And then this is just my Google profile. I do what's called Google local services. That's where someone types in, real estate agent my area. You can pay to play, so to speak. So I think I have my budget set at $600 a month. They don't, and you only pay per lead. So, maybe 50 or $60 per lead, but they don't always use it up. So if they don't use it up, then you don't spend that. But I think I've done about 10 deals this year just off of having a Google profile. Zillow, same thing. It's harder for people to get you to review, like, outside of whether it's just a buyer or seller. But what I talked to Neil about before, and all those websites that I just put in the chat for you guys, make sure that all of your Zillow, your Google, your YouTube, your Facebook page, like all of them have the same photo, the same description across all platforms, LinkedIn. I mean, all of these sites, of course, are free for you guys to do. But I just make sure that every photo is identical and all the descriptions are the same. And so like when people search me up, which a lot of them tell me they do, they're like, yeah, we Googled you. Like it has everything is uniform, everything that looks the same. So that has helped me a ton, having that, and then being on all those free sites that I just gave you guys. And that's just a list from Tom Ferry that was circulating like a few years ago. So I figured I'd share it.
Thank you. Good stuff. Excellent. Questions for Charles? Did you guys go to sleep? It's a big lunch. What's
I
going
have a
on?
question. How many hours do you work per day?
Work a day. I try to get into the office usually by 8, and then I'm done by 5 or 6 typically. But it's not all grinding like you guys. Like when I log on and watch you guys call, it's truly impressive. So it's not like it's not grinding like you guys are grinding. I still got to do that one day. But typically, 8 to 5, 8 to 6, depending on appointments.
Isn't it interesting how impressed he is with you guys?
Oh, I think you guys are super dedicated. And like I, I don't like we all have distractions. We all have kids, I'm sure, but like, right now, two or three times a week, I'm sitting, on bleachers at my kids' volleyball games for an hour or two every afternoon, or 2 to 3 times a week. And so stuff like that, which I should probably make it more of a networking activity, start meeting some parents. But so
How about printing a T-shirt with your name on it and the phone number on the back of the T-shirt? Just wear the damn T-shirt.
that's a good idea. I try to wear my branded, I got like the button down Remax Alliance shirts, but I like that.
Well, I just put your phone number on it because they'd
Yeah.
have to approach you. This way they can take the phone number down and call you later and say, hey, I saw you at
Yeah.
the, good,
Yeah. Yeah.
good.
So I would say, I mean, all my, like I've done a lot of the right things online on the stuff, and the thing that I'm chasing, which I think was part of the reason I called Neil last year, is to get back on the prospecting bandwagon of, because if I can combine what I'm doing right now online and getting, I think this year I'm at 30, I have it 31 closed deals, which is not great, but it's, bills are paid at least. And that's just off of, the online profiles, past clients, that type of thing. And so I'm like, in my mind, I'm saying if I can continue that business and then jump in and do the hard work like what you guys all do, hitting the phones every day, I'm, that should be able to get me up to the 50 mark again, maybe more.
So Charles, Lori asked, are the interest rates affecting your market, buy downs, et cetera? Are they popular? And what did you say? The average sales price was around 550 for you?
Yeah. So yes, they have affected our market. The people that I've helped a lot of, so before, when I was doing a lot of buyer leads, which I don't do anymore, like realtor.com and Zillow leads, I pretty much totally cut that out. And just because when I was doing that before, of course, anyone could buy a home. If you could fog a mirror, you could buy a home, like rates were so low. The lead quality went down, and those companies quit delivering on what they said they would on our contract. So my deals lately have been a lot of, I mean, the thing that keeps us in business, I think, is death, divorce, transfer. So I got in with a few people doing that. I made a really good lender connection who's referred me a ton of business. And then um, the move downs, like the people who want, I'm going to call them lifestyle change. They don't want a 2-story home. Like I've helped several people just this year, get out of their 2-story home and they move to a ranch, and then like a few of them just move out to like Florida for a different change of scenery. But those are, your 60, I think the ones I helped are priced 65 plus crowd. So I don't know the politically correct way to probably I just call them lifestyle changes.
Old people.
I feel bad saying that. but
Well,
but
I'm
but
part of
but the
that
thing is,
group,
but
so I
the
can
like
do it.
the people who those are who I've helped, their homes are paid for, and they don't care about rates. They're buying the next one cash, and like like it doesn't matter to them.
Got it. Good stuff.
And yeah,
Excellent.
it's
Very cool. Okay. Other questions for Charles? Other thoughts? Go ahead. Go ahead, Lydia.
Charles, I can't find the Google local service. I mean, I'm sorry, the Google business and local services. I couldn't find that. Is that just on the regular
so
uh
yeah. So I would go to our new best friend, ChatGPT, and just say, I'm a real estate agent. How do I set up a Google professional profile? And then how do I set up Google local services, and it should give you step-by-step direction. You have to have a professional Google profile. Like it doesn't like it can just be you don't have to have reviews or anything, but you have to have a profile, a Google profile on there before you set up Google local services. So,
Oh,
and then they
okay.
connect.
I have not used what you said, chat G.
We have a different problem.
Oh, yeah.
But Lydia, there's a few agents in our company. In fact, I just think we had a class on this in the last week or two. Check
Troy
Eddie.
gives us a class.
Who?
Troy Hutch, what's his name from,
Troy, yeah.
he's on at noon on Wednesdays, about once a month on ChatGPT.
Okay, well, so Lydia, go to the calendar in the company calendar and or go check with Jackie or Eddie or that group, Robert, and they'll give you the right direction on this. But this is not that big a deal to do. And there's plenty of people in the company that can and will help you.
Yeah, I'm sorry I haven't been here a while. I had a death in the family, so we haven't been around,
Well,
but I'm back.
I'm sorry to hear that
Thank you.
you had that, but welcome back.
Okay, thank
I just threw it into Google without ChatGPT. How to set up a Google page and a local services account. Just put that into Google, and they give you literally a 20-step process of everything you got to do. So it's extremely easy.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Good stuff. Excellent. All right.
Thank you,
Other
Charles.
questions?
Yeah.
Other
Thanks,
things
Charles.
Charles can help you with today? Lido, go ahead.
So when you come in, what is your main focus coming in? Are you like more like I'm going to go out like that hunting, going after new prospects every day? Is that still there, or is it like
No, for sure. Like right now I'm back into the hunting mode of like coming in. I do the Vulcan 7, so jump on Vulcan 7. So right now I'm back into the hunting, because I'm not buying. I'm besides for the things that are currently set up, of which I'm just going to call them like passive lead, whatever. Like I'm not paying to get leads besides for Vulcan 7. And then on Google, if someone clicks on my name, great, I get the lead, but it's like I can't control my business that way. Like someone could click it for 10 times in a month, or someone may not click it for 2 or 3 months. So right now it's back into the hunting mode, and so I'm back starting trying to get re-engaged of where I was before, and like sometimes jumping on with you guys on the calling, and so that's the focus right now.
nice? You know how like you make calls and you don't get that lead that you want. What's your mindset behind that? Like like you're prospecting for hours, you don't get that hot lead that you want.
I'm probably very callous to it. I've lost so many deals, and I've lost so many leads before. Sometimes it used to irk me a little bit more. Like
Right.
literally I'm like literally now I'm like whatever. And
Yeah.
even when people are like, sorry, we're not using you, maybe I should fight harder. Maybe I'll have to talk to Neil about that.
Right.
But like maybe I should, but like I'm like whatever. There's more business out there. I'll go find someone who actually wants to work with me. So I give myself, like, I heard someone a while ago, like, give yourself like 10 or 15 seconds to basically, feel bad about not getting it, and then get back on the horse. Like I've called my coach before, and I'm like, complaining about something, and they're like, well, it's a good time to jump on the phone and go find someone else. And so it's just like,
I love it. I love it. Thank you so much, Charles. I appreciate you.
All right, good stuff. Josie.
Hey, Charles, don't forget to put your contact information in
Oh, yeah. Thank you, Josie.
chat,
Put your name and phone number in the chat boxes.
and your email. And also, it sounds like Neil is coaching you too.
No,
yeah, I would,
I'm just a person at the end of the phone when he can't find anybody else.
no, you guys have an amazing group. And I found Neil because I was, like I said, last year was, it was end of the year, didn't have a lot of business, kind of toward, sometimes around winter slows down here, but my pipeline was pretty low, and I was on YouTube and I found your group and I found the interviews that Neil did with all these other people, and I'm like, I got to talk to that guy. And so that's how I reached out. I was like reached out to you, not thinking I would even get a reply, and then here we are a few months later.
Well, you're very coachable. You ask great questions and you take the advice and do something with it.
So-
You could ask for more.
Yeah, is that website, is that your email address?
Oh, sorry, no. Let me give you my email. I'll just put it in the chat here. That's just my Google page. I think I just went to.
Yeah, give him a review.
Oh no, don't feel like you need to give me a review. They will. So if you're not getting legit reviews, I do believe they will shut you down. So, like I see sometimes in Facebook or coaching groups, like, hey, people, here's my profile, give me a review. I just don't do that just because. Well, first, I want my reviews to be legit. So, like when I ask my lender, like we work together, when I ask my title rep or when I ask the buyer or the seller. And then one thing I was talking to Neil about, make sure you go into the reviews you get and reply to them.
Yeah.
Yeah, like say, hey, thank you so much for the review, blah, blah, blah. And because the more you feed Google, the more your page keeps growing.